So let's just call this episode Scary Stories of the Not So Highway Patrol. I remember back a call that came in many, many years ago, probably about 15 years ago. I was, or maybe even longer than that, it might have been about 20 years ago. I was working the night shift. I don't even know if there was even another trooper out. It was about 8:30 at night. It was dark. It was fall or the winter. And dispatch gets a call, and they basically paged me to come to the comm room because they've got an odd call. I don't know why they just didn't put it out over the intercom, why they didn't call me directly on my phone, because we had extensions to each trooper's desk or sergeant's desk. I was just a corporal then, I'm pretty sure, but that was before I got promoted. So this would have been prior to 2000, June the 1st, 2009. That's when I got promoted to sergeant. So anyway, they give me this call. They tell me to come back to the comm center. I go back there. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And they're like, hey, we got this odd call. There was somebody driving down Route 50. Route 50 was the main thoroughfare through the county of Hampshire, West Virginia. Hampshire County, West Virginia. And it was in the vicinity of Pleasantdale, which is a little unincorporated community about halfway between Augusta and Cape Bridge. And they say, hey, we got this call. The caller was coming down the mountain there, which would have been Cooper Mountain. They were on the west side of Cooper Mountain, coming down the mountain. And they came around a turn, and their headlights hit something in the ditch. So they slowed up, and they didn't know what it was. I don't know if they came to a complete stop and got out and checked. But come to find out that what they reported was that when they coming down Shaftnecker Mountain, headed westbound on Route 50, they come around a turn there, and they started on down. It was probably 2/3 of the way down the mountain. And I think the elevation of Cooper Mountain, somewhere around 1,600 feet above sea level. But anyway, they said they come around this turn, their headlights shined on something in the right ditch, which would have been along the north roadway edge of Route 50. And they thought, at first they thought, what is that? And then I guess they had enough time to get a second look, and they said, oh my God, that's a person tied up with their hands and feet bound laying in the ditch. Now, I don't know how fast they were going. I don't know. They didn't say they stopped. Maybe they did. Maybe they panicked. I don't know what the heck the deal was. So dispatch gives me this call. At this point, I'd already worked probably 5 homicides in my career. I've never had one where a body was thrown out of a car. But I've had a little bit of just about any kind of call you can think of. And I definitely saw my share of death and destruction. Many calls dealing with homicides, unattended deaths, suicides, accidental deaths, you name it. I've investigated and seen it. So I'm thinking, this is probably bullshit, but gotta go, because if I don't go, for one, I'm not doing my duty, and I'm not serving the citizens like I swore an oath to do. And for two, what if there is something to it? What if the person is tied up, thrown in the ditch? And what if they're not dead? I mean, dead's as worse as can be, but if they die because I didn't respond and maybe I could have helped them, guess who that falls on? Yeah, that falls on numero uno. Falls on me. So I hop in the Cruiser and I tell dispatch, hey, I'm headed out that way. Traffic wasn't that heavy. I did not run code because from the way they were thinking, this person was already dead. But regardless, I responded to the area and pretty much to where they told us it was. And at first glance, guess what I saw? Yeah, you probably figured it. I didn't find anything. Went up and down the mountain a couple different times, mainly focused on the north side of 50. But, I've been given bad directions before. I've been told it was on the north when it was on the south. I've been told go east when I should have went west. From callers, people panic when they see something they don't understand or a tragic situation. They panic. They tend to get tunnel vision, and they forget details pretty quick. And I even had a dispatcher that she couldn't tell me north from south, east to west. And she sent me on a call one day for an alarm call, and I spent 3.5 hours looking for an alarm call, and she told me to turn right when she should have told me to turn left. But regardless, I finally found it. It was unfounded. It had already been reset. But this call was pretty serious. At least it sounded like it was pretty serious. But I searched the area very thorough, and I told dispatch, radio dispatch, and I'm like, Romney, that was my dispatch center. I'm like, I can't find anything. I didn't see any evidence there was anybody laying along the road, live or dead. Didn't find any bodily fluids that stood out on the road, on the edge of the road, in the ditch, and shoulder. So I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just a prank to get me away from the office. Maybe it's somebody that saw something in the ditch and didn't know what it was and panicked. Maybe it was somebody that sees things I don't know that aren't there. Who knows? But I knew, though, that it was an odd call. And I've got more if you like that one. And they're true life stories.